Welcome back. You're watching To The Point. Both the universities from which Delhi Law Minister Jintendra Tomar claims to have received degrees have denied he's one of their graduates and say the degree that he is citing is entirely fake. So why is Arvind Kejriwal protecting him rather than demanding his resignation? Coming after the farmer suicide and the damaging split with Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan, is the damage done to the Aam Aadmi Party's image steadily getting worse and even going beyond repair? Joining me tonight is BJP spokesperson Nalin Kohli, Headline Today's special correspondent Ankit Tyagi, and a member of the Aam Aadmi Party, Kamal Mitra Chinoy. Unfortunately, the Aam Aadmi Party refused to send an official spokesperson. Professor Chinoy, for most people, it's now confirmed that both degrees that Jintendra Singh Tomar claims to have received are fake. First, Ram Manohar Loya, Awadh University, has told the Bar Council of Delhi that it has no records of his graduation and the roll number he's given is false. Then, separately, Tilak Manjhi, Bhagalpur University, has told the Delhi High Court that it has no record of him completing his law degree and the degree he claims he's got or he's citing is fabricated. Given, therefore, that most people believe he's lying, A, to the party, B, to the Election Commission, and C, to the voters of Delhi, hasn't the time come for Arvind Kejriwal to sack him as law minister?
Well, the last I heard was that someone was to either go to Bhagalpur from here to confirm, or one of our representatives in Bhagalpur would confirm with the university. This is a kind of double check because it's pretty clear what is happening.
So this is just to be abundantly cautious and be sure that in fact he's lied?
Not only that, to show that the Aam Aadmi, when there's an accusation, will follow up itself, and so that no one...
Except that what this shows is that the Aam Aadmi doesn't believe Ram Manohar Loya, Awadh University, and doesn't believe Tilak Manjhi, Bhagalpur University, because both of them officially said he's lying.
Actually, there are three. There's also, and I'm sure there might be more.
That's the affiliated college of Bhagalpur, which also has said that they have no record of his attendance.
There's this college in Saket Degree College in Faizabad.
So in which case, if there are so many people who are saying he's lying, why do you need to double check?
Well, the Saket one, the Faizabad one is a little more mixed, though it's very clear.
What's your personal feeling? Do you need to double check or should he have been sacked?
I think that if there is substantial evidence, after all, it's not a court thing. It is something probably preparatory to a court decision. I see no reason why he should not be asked to step down, with the proviso that if something happens and he is proven innocent,
he'll be restored.
Then he can be reinstated.
Nalin Kohli, let me put the opposite point of view to you. On the other hand, the case inquiring into his degrees at the Delhi High Court is continuing. The Delhi Bar Council has given him time till the 8th of May. And Jintendra Tomar himself has repeatedly said that once all the records that he has are placed in front of the court, it will emerge that his degrees are genuine. So in which case, what's the harm in giving him time till this process is completed? Because if he can't convince anyone, he will then be sacked. But whilst there is room for him to try and convince, give him the benefit of the doubt. Why is that not the right thing to do?
Well, I have multiple things to say, but let's start with your question directly. The first thing is, if the person is incorrect, as seems to be, his degree is fake, his law degree is fake, and he's the law minister of Delhi. So should he be in office for a single day more? Because every day he's then signing any file or doing any activity, it's a constitutional fraud. He shouldn't be there. It should be void ab initio. He shouldn't be there because the Election Commission would then apply. Therefore, he's not even eligible to be an MLA. And if he's a minister, even worse. Which brings us to the next point. The Aam Aadmi Party has this fascination to pick up absolutely phenomenal people for representing the Law Department of Delhi. The previous one wanted to summon the whole Delhi High Court and the Chief Justice to his chamber for a cup of tea. And then how he saw law, he displayed on a midnight vigilante raid. This, the second one appears to be, Mr. Tomar appears to be a minister of forgeries rather than a minister of law. So, I mean, do you have someone who's so adept at forging everything? Or the other argument would be he's unfortunately a victim of dementia. He doesn't remember his own roll number and sends wrong roll numbers to the university. Then the third point, the Aam Aadmi Party celebrated the point that we will do a background check on every one of our candidates. And if I recall in the media, Mr. Prashant Bhushan, Yogendra Yadav and others were raising this very point. So where is that much touted background dead? We will have very clean candidates. So therefore, the Aam Aadmi Party is confirming that basically they have no standards. They only speak for convenience. They have no belief and no conviction in anything they spoke.
You've made 3 convincing points. Let me make a 4th one back to you. How is Jintendra Tomar's fake degrees any better or any worse than Smriti Irani's misleading claims about her degree, and even more so, her bizarre claim, once on television, that she had a Yale degree because she'd spent a week in that university? And she's HRD minister, and no one's asked her to step down.
Yes, I'll answer it. Absolutely. Absolutely, there's a big difference, and I'm glad you asked that question. One is, there is no constitutional requirement that a person needs to be of a certain academic background to be able to hold constitutional office. By that standard, you would be removing the whole part of India, and a lot of people, stalwarts who have served this country were not. No, I'm coming to that. I'll come to this Yale thing specifically, Mr. Thapar. A lot of people who have served this country may not have been graduates either. The second point is that, which Ms. Irani herself said later, the slip of her tongue to use the word degree for a diploma was incorrect, and that was clarified. But that she did go to Yale for a week
hang on a second. That's a very minor bit of her transgression.
That also
in 2004, she claimed to be a Delhi University BA, and she said she'd got the degree in 1996. But in 2011 and 2014, she changed this to Bachelor of Commerce Part 1, and then gave the year as 1994. Now, of those 2 different statements, only one can be correct, the other's wrong. And they were given as affidavits at election time. And yet no one's holding that against her and demanding she step down.
Either of the state, no. I think the demands have been made, so I will not agree with that. With regard to the question, the fact is she did go to Delhi University. In this case, which is completely different, you're talking of universities denying the existence of the person or the roll number.
You're a brilliant spokesperson. I put that to you. It's an interesting difference you're drawing. She at least went to the university. She claimed she went to. Tomar didn't even go to the university. However, in Smriti Irani's case, she didn't get the degree she claims she's got, or any of the 2 degrees. Let's come, Ankit Tyagi, to the Aam Aadmi Party leadership. Technically, I take it there's nothing wrong in them giving Jintendra Tomar time for this issue to be resolved, either at the court or at the Bar Council of Delhi, or by their own checks with the universities concerned. But I put this to you. Where does that then leave their claim to be transparent, their claim to greater probity? To me, when they say let the court sort out this matter, they sound very much like Congress and BJP do when they are faced with embarrassing problems, rather than take the moral high ground.
Well, this is exactly what the difference in the Aam Aadmi Party has been right from the time when they came in, when they were struggling for power, and when they have come to power. There were different standards. When they were, of course, struggling, they would make acquisition and want ahead of anybody. But as of now, it seems that the government and the party both have decided to give Tomar a fair time, so that if he can prove that he is innocent, he has the genuine degrees, he will keep his job, or else Kejriwal will crack the whip. What senior sources within the party are now, as of now, telling us that they do not want to do anything under the pressure of the media, which they believe is only swaying a little bit, a small constituency that is actually not their voter. Their voters on the ground are very happy.
But isn't this affecting the moral standing of the party in its image? They may not want to act under media pressure, but as a result, they've lost the moral high ground.
Absolutely. And this case, of course, as of now, whatever evidences and current few more are coming to us, we probably would be playing a few more stories as far as Tomar's degrees are concerned. It's going to be a very difficult position for Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and the party to defend. And ultimately, it seems that by 8th of next month, they'll be in a difficult position to defend Jintendra Singh.
Professor Chinoy, this episode, unfortunately for your party, comes after the farmer suicide. It comes after the damaging split with Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav. And the image and impression in the public eye is that the credibility of your party and its claim to being morally different is in free fall. And the party needs to step in and resurrect itself. But by staying silent, by waiting for events to play out, it's allowing circumstances to take over instead.
Well, I think some things should not be collapsed into one. For example, the farmer's suicide, or as the Delhi Police Commissioner sometimes says, a stunt gone wrong, is quite different because
Oh, absolutely. In terms of their content, they are different. No one denies it. But in terms of the impact on the image of the party, they're all having the same adverse effect. That's why I'm saying you need to step in and act.
well, actually, I don't think they're quite the same thing, because the matter of what happened, unfortunately, in Jantar Mantar is clearing up. And also, since we had a
You really
magistrate,
believe that the Aam Aadmi Party is emerging from Jantar Mantar smelling of roses?
of course not. But I think
So then when you say it's
we're
clearing up,
not.
what's clearing
I
up?
don't think we're smelling of sewage either. So I think, thanks also to the media and the televised scenes.
So you believe that there is no real big image problem that affects your party, therefore there is no need for Arvind Kejriwal and the leadership to step in and take action?
No, not at all. I think that there have been a number of things that affect the party. And incidentally,
So is Arvind Kejriwal now required to act expeditiously? Because at the moment he's silent, if not absent. That's the question I'm putting to you, really.
well, I really think that there are two parts to what the party is doing. One is the electricity and the water.
No, but that was
and
a
all
different issue.
No,
I'm
but
talking
hear me
about
out.
the image.
And Arvind seems to believe that that is enough to maintain the image of the party.
Do you agree with that?
No.
So therefore you personally believe Arvind should act, that this rot, if not stopped, will erode the party's image. You believe that?
I think that Arvind should make clear what is the deadlines for Tomar. If it is to May 8th, fine. But in the meantime, if the Bhagalpur University shows that the certificate is false, then that is an additional infraction. And then he should move very quickly.
You know, the truth, Nalin Kodi, is that it's not unusual for political parties to say and claim one thing, but when their members and their cabinets are affected, to take the opposite position. And I'll give you another example. Mr. Modi is perhaps the most outspoken Prime Minister talking about the rights of women, condemning Indian men for their attitude to rape. And yet when Nihal Chand Megwal was accused of gang rape, and a court, in addition, took cognizance of the matter, Mr. Modi did nothing at all to remove him. In fact, Mr. Modi was silent. Now, I know that's a very different example, but what does it not illustrate the point I'm making, that heads of government say one thing in public and behave very differently when their own cabinet ministers get caught out?
That's a convoluted argument. In any case, we've discussed it perhaps on your show also. And I can again have a discussion on Mr. Megwal's case whenever you desire. Let's get back to the Tomar case. Number one is, it's fascinating that the party, which essentially owes its entire existence to the media, is out there saying that they can't put out the proof in the media because it's under a court case. The easiest way would be just come out with the certificates and show it to the media. And the whole matter would rest. What has to take place in court will take place. Perhaps he'll walk out free without any taint on him. The second part is about this argument that, we are doing okay, the media is just blaming us, people are happy. Ironically, the same argument as used by the biggest tyrants in human history. Hitler had a similar argument, so did Mussolini, that whatever they were doing it because the people were happy with it. So that's not exactly an argument that a sane person would like to say. And the third part of the argument is, let's look at the track record of Mr. Kejriwal and how his party runs. They seem to discard anyone the minute the use is over.
Okay.
Some people would say that Mr. Kejriwal left Aruna Roy, then after that left Mr. Anna Hazare, then left Mr. Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav. And now the media is asking questions, so it's willing to also move off.
All right, very interesting that you broadened the argument to smear Mr. Kejriwal, but when I brought up Nihal Chand Megwal, you avoided that completely, but that's your prerogative and right. You hinted
No, I'm happy to do a debate on it. No, I'm not running. Happy to do a debate on it separately.
All right, happily. I'll take up that challenge one day. You hinted very intriguingly that the media may have a lot more about Jintendra Tomar and his alleged falsified degrees. Is this therefore going to be an issue that snowballs and gets a lot worse for the Aam Aadmi Party?
It looks like that, and as I said, it's going to be very difficult for Arvind Kejriwal and the party to defend Jintendra Singh Tomar, because so far whatever argument he has presented, though the party insiders say that he's very confident that he's going to come out victorious as far as the court case is concerned, but there are certain more papers that are going to put Mr. Tomar into trouble. There are certain more questions that he will have to answer.
And that also means that Arvind Kejriwal's failure or reluctance to act will become more embarrassing for Kejriwal as well.
Exactly, and that is what the problem that Mr. Kejriwal these days faces. If he acts, then there is a section that says that he's acting under pressure. If he doesn't, then he's under fire for not acting at all.
So in other words, he's caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. My thanks to both of you for coming to studio. My thanks also to Nalan Kohli for joining us for both parts of tonight's show. And there we end tonight's show. If you have been, thanks for watching. Goodbye. Good night.